الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته future Hujjaj inshallah. Welcome to the second of Dome's webinars, inshallah the second of many. We've got a packed webinar today, inshallah, so we're going to be strict with time to make sure we don't overrun, and I'm sure people have things to do and places to go to. So I'll briefly run through the program for today, and then inshallah, and the structure for today, inshallah, so everybody's aware of what's going to happen, inshallah, over the next hour and a half, inshallah. So I think many of you have heard of Dome Tours, but I'm just going to spend the next 2-3 minutes explaining what Dome Tours is and how we came about and how long we've been around, etc., and what we do. Then I'm going to talk very briefly about Al-Bayt guests and Nusuk, the portal from the Hajj Ministry. And then a brother Sohail will come on and speak for around 20-25 minutes just to go over the kind of pertinent issues, the hot topics that are affecting people, and maybe provide some guidance as to what to do for verification and uploading documents and things like that. Then we'll run through the main part of the webinar today, which is the packages, Dome Tours packages for Hajj 2025. And then we'll have a Q&A at the end. Now, what I would say is please hold back on the Q&A for now. We've got the team in the chat as well, who are happy to answer your questions, but just hold back for now, because I think over the next half hour we might be we'll probably cover most of your questions anyway. So if you can just hang fire, and then inshallah you can start asking your questions. One thing I would say is that the sessions that Al-Bayt have on Sundays and Thursdays, they have quite an extensive Q&A session. So most of the issues will be dealt with on the Thursday sessions, on the Sunday sessions. We will address some of the admin questions today as well. But like I said before, the main focus for today is through Dome Tours packages. And
Wahid, your sound keeps freezing in your picture.
is it okay?
Yeah, now it's okay, but it was breaking earlier. So
we'll carry on and see how we are, inshallah. I'm getting a message saying the internet connection is unstable, but we'll see how we go, inshallah. So Dome Tours was established over 20 years ago. We have experience of performing Hajj and Umrah, organizing Hajj and Umrah for more than 20 years. Abdurrahman Hilbawi is the current MD, and I'm sure many of you have come across him in the Al-Bayt sessions, and from around kind of he's very active, mashallah, in London. Now he's based in Saudi Arabia. So he's Bayt. Won multiple awards, mashallah, for Channel Business Awards and CBH UK Awards, etc. Office location, just for interest, maybe people don't know, is based in West London, Northwest London, Ibrar, if I'm right. Westbourne Park is the nearest tube station.
yes.
Now, team office manager Ibrar, we have Rizlan. Who work in the office to help with Hajj 2025. And then we have a team of around 15 to 20 volunteers. We have our own jobs, our own businesses, and we drop everything, come together. You can see the photograph on the screen. We come together and just to help with
Abdul Wahid, your sound
be
keeps
your guides,
breaking.
be your.
Is there any way to fix anything with the internet, please? Or because even I can
I'll
see
check.
that your connection keeps turning to amber and red from time to time, but it keeps breaking. It's very bad.
Alaikum, hey, bye-bye.
Yes, Assalamu alaikum, brother Sahil. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Abdul Wahid, do you want to switch off your video perhaps?
I think he's probably going to be reconnecting to the internet. So if Brother Sahil wants to just fill in for a bit.
Alaikum, brothers, of course.
Is that sorry?
What would you like? What would you like from me that you don't already know?
We'll just come to you in a few minutes. So is that okay, bro? Now?
Yes,
Absolutely
it's
fine.
better, inshallah, now.
Okay. So so a team of 15 to 20 volunteers, mashallah, who we come together every year. And people have described us as the Avengers, for those of you who know who the Avengers are, where we come together for Hajj, inshallah. We have our own businesses and jobs and things during the year. And then for a period of a month or so, we come together and help to serve the Hujjaj. As well as the volunteers, we also have religious scholars that accompany us. So this year, inshallah, we're proud that we have scholars accompanying us, and also we have, as part of the volunteer team, people that have studied for many, many years and are well versed in the rules of Hajj, mashallah. So overall, alhamdulillah, we have a good, I think, positive reputation in the Hajj and Umrah industry, as well as the other agents that are in the UK and part of Al Bayt team. And you can follow us on social media. I'm sure Ibrahim can share the details later, inshallah. So that's Dome tours. Now, very quickly on Nusuk and Al Bayt. Now, post COVID, the system of Hajj changed. Now we have, if you want to go to, whereas before you had to go to an agent, the Hajj ministry would give visas to Hajj licensed Hajj operators, and if you wanted to go to Hajj, you'd go to a Hajj operator and make your booking directly with a Hajj operator, and they would deal with everything. Now there is, for certain countries around the world, America, Canada, the whole of Europe, Australia, and some other countries, the Hajj ministry have set up a portal called Nusuk, and those Hujjaj that want to book, or anybody who wants to perform Hajj, has to book via this portal. It does have its complications, which we'll go through with Sohail in a few minutes, but this is the new system. So the current Hajj agents, we haven't kind of disappeared into the background. Now we are part of a team. So all of the Hajj agents, whereas before we were doing our own thing, we are now a team working together with our own Hajj packages and resources, etc., sharing resources. And we've partnered with a local company in Saudi Arabia called Al Bayt, the Youth Al Bayt Guests. And the website, I think, will be launched soon, so you can read about Al Bayt and what they do and their reputation. So, mashallah, it's an impressive website. I don't know if it's been launched, so Hel can tell us more. But I did see the one of the test sites. Now, what I'd like to do, Sohail, is spend the next 20-ish, 25 minutes just to structure your time, going through two things. First is the Nusuk side of things when it comes to verification, uploading of documents, and the challenges that people have faced, because I'm sure people have got those questions as well. And the next 10-15 minutes on e-wallets and issues with bank transfers and anything else. So just the pertinent issues, please. And Sohail, mashallah, you probably have come across him on the Telegram groups. He's the troubleshooter, mashallah, and the man with all the answers, hopefully. So over to you, Sohail.
Jazakumullah. Are we actually live? Do beg your pardon.
Of course, we have. Over 260 people listening to you now
Shall I look
every
at the
day.
humorous side of things? I had a couple of pilgrims messaging me, Suhail, are you going to be on the webinar? Because we like a little bit of entertainment. So that breaks the ice a little bit, doesn't it? Allah, astaghfirullah. Bismillah wa salatu wa salam wa rasulullah. Okay, brothers, as my respected brother over here, Abdul Wahid, has explained to you the system, how it works, and alhamdulillah, you're all pretty versed now, I would have thought, after 11 weeks of engaging in so many webinars and engaging in so many question and answer sessions. So I will generally like to skim, not so much skim, but try and just revise, if you like, what you already know with regards to where we are with verifications and registrations, and where we are with in terms of the timeline crediting of your wallets. Majority of you, like I said, are very, very versed, and you're very aware of the proceedings from here on. But let's quickly just revise them. So, alhamdulillah, the tail end of the verification, we're coming towards the end of it now, simply because most of the British passport holders have all been verified now. There are those who are joining in the latter stages. People do make decisions at the at a very later stage to say, okay, I intend to go for Hajj. It's we always say, it's a divine call. And if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala instills in somebody's heart that you are ready to go for Hajj, they will get ready. You will get that in phase 1, you'll get that in phase 2, and believe it or not, you will get pilgrims joining in phase 3 and registering as well. So the point is, the bulk of it is all done. I know there are a few laggers in there as well with regards to the residency and or non-British passport holders, which alhamdulillah we've pretty much knuckled it down now with regards to a memorandum of understanding and a combined knowledge with Nusuk that, okay, these are documents that are legal travel documents and immigration statuses, and these are documents which you will need to see. So for those who are struggling with residency documents, please get in touch with one of the Albeit admins, operators, Ibrar Bhai. Alhamdulillah, he has done many, and we communicate on a daily basis. Especially our learning comes from troubleshooting, and our learning comes from the pilgrims themselves. So if you do feel that you're stuck with something, or you feel that my registration has not come through, I've not been verified yet because I'm a resident of the UK and a non-British passport holder, then do get in touch with us. Inshallah, we will try and get it over the line for you as well, inshallah. And Nusuk themselves, in terms of their manual processing, they have different types of processing structures in place. They have the automated OCRs, and then they have the manual audits as well. So if there are any of those who have landed onto the desk as a manual audit, then we could always get in touch with them, inshallah, and see where it's up to. A phone call to Nusuk always helps. I promise you of this, because in the last few days or past 7 days, we've got so many of the verifications over the line simply by making a phone call. You might think, Suhail, it's quite expensive to call them. You're right, it's an international number. However, if you were to just get a calling card, like a white calling card or a Rebtel, we call it, or a app-based service, then you could easily, for a few pounds, get enough credit to be able to get an answer. And they will give you an answer, inshallah, as to where your registration stands. Okay, if you do get a rejection, it's not the end of the world, inshallah. Do get in touch with one of us, and we'll see why it's been rejected, and we'll review it and resubmit it, inshallah. Sometimes it's just a case of checking it over and resubmitting as well. I mean, I'm not going to make excuses for Nusuk that we've submitted this before, we've done this before, it's not working. It is a process that's quite different to us and the way the processes work on that side. But we've got to work with the system as it is, and alhamdulillah, despite our challenges, alhamdulillah, we've got the bulk of the verification registrations over the line. So inshallah, let's come together when it comes to the last few non-residency ones, residency ones even, and get those over the line. So I think that's pretty much everything with regards to registrations. Now, coming on to the section of your e-wallets. Again, seeing so many of you on the webinars over the last few weeks, especially the big family webinar, we call it, on the Sunday. We know where everybody is with regards to topping up their e-wallets. I know we had a little bit of a gripe with Revolut over the last 7 days, but alhamdulillah, that's something we put in the past now, and that's water under the bridge. Those who are still waiting for any funds to come back to you from the merchant, we call it, they will come back to you. A lot of pilgrims are getting their funds back from through Revolut who attempted to make payments. So let's strike off Revolut and draw a line underneath it and move on to the ones we've spoke about. I think it was last week and over the last few webinars. Revolut, really, really good. Starling, absolutely amazing. HSBC Global, Halifax Clarity Card, and Barclays Rewards Card. They've all been very good. Chase has been very good. I'm not one to tell you use that one, use this one. We'll just put them all out to you. These are all working fine. Exchange rates are good for those who are inclined towards how much you're giving away to forex, as we call it, or trading. But generally with those banks which I've suggested, the rates are very, very good, alhamdulillah, and they've been consistent over the last 7 days as well. So inshallah, if any of you are concerned with regards to topping up your wallets, then please reach out. But my take-home message for you with regards to crediting your wallets is please make sure if you are inclined towards the Dome package, then you've got last year's guide prices, so it gets you into the ballpark as to how much you need to have in there. As Sheikh Abdurrahman's alluded to over the last few weeks, that we will be inshallah in the ballpark of what the prices were last time. Let's allow for at least 5% to 10% variance with regards to making sure you've got adequate funds in there to be ready to be able to secure the package. We're at a stage where majority of you should now have your funds in your wallets. And I know many of you are, but those who are, again, who are the laggers amongst us or the stragglers amongst us, then please try and make moves to try and credit your wallet now, because we really don't want to be bogged down trying to top up our wallets when really we should be familiarizing ourselves with the portal itself. We should now be getting to terms with how the portal works, what the different operational aspects of it is, the filters, the different types of packages, the orientation, the room configurations. You really need to get hands-on now. You need to really get into the meat of the portal itself. So when it comes to the point that, okay, the packages are about to go live, you are drilled. You know exactly how it works. Just like, you have a drill for fire safety, you know where you're going, you know what you're doing, and you know what to look out for. This is exactly the same. This is now a period where you want to be drilled. You need to be able to play with the portal in your sleep. And I laugh and joke about this all the time. You need to be able to operate it backwards, forwards, sideways, upside, and downside. Every time somebody switches a portal on, you know exactly where you're going. The reason I say this, Allah forbid me from saying this, if the last few years are an example of how it is when the packages go live, any of the brothers and my learned colleagues over here will tell you that it is a very, very stressful time when the system goes live. You've got all your emotions, all your anxieties, nerves, and panic set around you, and you've got to make a decision in selecting your package. Inshallah, you'll know the code of your package. If it's the Dome code package you're going for, you'll know your code. You'll know what the package orientations are. So it's just a case of getting to that package, configuring that package, and checking out that package, inshallah. So you might say to me, okay, Sohail, so how will it happen? How will it work? What's going to happen? Do I select my package, configure it, and place it into the basket? Absolutely, that's what you'll be doing. In the next 24 to 48 hours, inshallah, all the Al-Bayt packages will be on Nusuk. So you will be at a point where you'll be playing around with the different packages, especially those specific to yourselves. Once you familiarize yourself and looked at all the different permutations, inshallah, you'll be able to get to a stage where you could put it into your basket. Now, suppose 9th of February is the date the ministry sticks on. Remember, we're at the mercy of the ministry. We are at their discretion. If they feel on the 9th of February, we are going to go live, you know your packages, you familiarize yourself with your portal, you've got your funds inside your wallet. Now, you'll simply go to your package, select it, and you check out. If you've got it into your basket already by that time, inshallah, that'll be fine. If it's not in the basket, for whatever reason, it's been thrown out of the basket, you'll know how to configure it. So that's generally where we're up to when it comes to selecting your package. Again, I'm just bringing together holistically everything we've spoken about over the last few weeks. Now, there's one other thing that can possibly change between verification to selecting your package is your family dynamic. If, for example, for whatever unforeseen circumstances, you find one of your family members can no longer go for Hajj, then there are going to be certain steps you'll need to take in order to, make provisions for those who are going and those who are not going to be able to go. For example, there's going to be instances where some pilgrims who are very close family relatives might think, it might be an advantage of just traveling together and staying together and have a room dynamic that suits as a family group. So there's instances where you can combine families, and there's instances where you could detach family members as well. A lot of those I spoke about yesterday in the webinar. So inshallah, if you need to revise that, you could go over yesterday's webinar. But if you've got two wallets which are credited, you cannot combine them. However, if you've got a wallet which is credited and you wish a family member to be joined onto that profile, then that's possible. If, for example, you have a family member who you want to remove or delink, then you can remove them by deleting them, okay? You can't delink them, you have to delete them. However, if there's two separate ones, then you can delink them. If you do get stuck with that aspect of the the profile or the portal, then again, just reach out to one of the admins who will be able to direct you, because you just don't know when the circumstance is going to change or how a dynamic can change. So inshallah, if you have any problems with regards to making adjustments to your family group after you have credited the wallet, then please reach out and inshallah we'll be able to guide you with that. So I think that pretty much covers everything as to where we are in our timeline and where we are in terms of anticipation of the packages. I know you've all been very, very patient, and I know you've absolutely been holding your breath, but we are literally imminent to when the packages go live on Nusuk for viewing. And obviously you've got the website as well, and Al Bayt on Nusuk website, where all the packages will be listed there as well, inshallah. So I think, Sheikh Abdul Wahid, I think I pretty much covered everything there. Unless you want me to speak about anything specifically, do jog my attention.
I will. Jazakallah khair. That's very useful. Sohail, if you can hang around, inshallah, if there's any Q&A towards the end, if you can just chip in, inshallah. But you've answered one of the questions I was going to ask before I move on, which was when are things going to go live? And you did say before, you did mention it, that 9th of February is the date that we've been given. But that may, depending on, well, at the behest of the Hajj Ministry.
Anticipated. Inshallah, we could all hope that there might be a little bit of an extension, a postponement for all our benefit, inshallah. But we have to stick with what the anticipated or the tentatives are. Anything, inshallah, is a bonus for us. So you've got a guideline at least.
Good. So for now, just to summarize what Sohail said, important thing is get verified. Make sure all your documents are uploaded. Top up your e-wallet, and just hot off the press, we are going to share with you tentative prices. We have been given the go-ahead. So this literally 2-3 hours ago, we put something together for you. So towards the end, we will share tentative prices just to give you a guide as to how much should be in your e-wallet. So verification, top up your e-wallet, and then familiarize yourself with the portal as Sohail mentioned.
Sheikh Abdul Wahid, can I interrupt you there, please?
Sure.
I've just recalled some incident from last night. And again, this is all down to our learning and education of the portal itself. Curiosity will take the better of us. You'll be wondering, okay, what does that button do there? What does that button do over there? I don't know if you read the message we posted last night, but unfortunately, there was a pilgrim who accidentally requested a withdrawal of their funds last night. And funds which are being withdrawn, they cannot be reversed. You will have to wait through the full refund process then. And it is quite a distressing incident that to hear of last night. But alhamdulillah, we managed to then get onto the portal, and the brother is able to recharge his wallet. But having said that, if, for example, you say 80,000-90,000 riyals, you've got to find somewhere else to be able to pay for your package. So please just be very, very particular and be very, very mindful when you are exploring the portal. I know we're curious about what the different sections of it does, but if you're not too sure about something, then please just ask, and inshallah we'll be able to guide you on that.
Okay. Jazakallah khair, Sohail. So Sohail will be around with us, inshallah, for the next 40 minutes, 1 hour. Okay, so the next section will be the packages themselves. Now, every year, alhamdulillah, we try and have we do 3 packages, and we find the main concerns for people are time and cost. Cost is obviously something that the team has put together, and in terms of time, we've done a 12-day, 15-day, and 18-day package. People have work, they have got children at home, and etc., etc. So and others can want to spend longer there. So we try and cater for all different types of scenarios and for people. So I'm going to go through the packages now, inshallah. Bismillah. And these are the 3 packages. Now, starting at the very top. Now, what you need to make note of is the code, because this is the code that you need to book if you want to go with any of these packages. What you need to select in the portal. So going with the one at the top, starting from the top, A4900J-DT is the 12-day package. This was our, let's say, 10-day package, but because of flight times and sometimes the arrival and departure days, it kind of extended it to 12 days. It might not be a full 12 days, but it's 12 days. And the departure date, and you see this will be a flight from I was going to say Lahore, so London Heathrow and Manchester. So you have Monday the 2nd of June up until Saturday the 14th of June. The days in brackets, in red brackets, are the days of Hajj. Tentative, of course, we have to wait for formal announcement from the Hajj Ministry. But Monday the 2nd of June, so we arrive into Mecca. All our packages are starting in Mecca, and we'll go through the features over the next few slides. All the features of our packages, I'll go through them one by one. So the first package, departure is from London Heathrow and Manchester on Monday the 2nd of June, which is the 6th of Dhul Hijjah. We spend the day in Mecca on the Tuesday, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, inshallah, the days of Hajj. Monday we have a day in Mecca, and the 10th of Dhul Hijjah is when we depart for Medina, check out of our hotel and check into our hotel on the 10th of June, which is the 14th of Dhul Hijjah. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4 nights in Medina, and then departure on the 14th of June, inshallah. Ibrad, did we include flight details in this?
They won't be in the presentation, but
okay, no problem.
They are available on our website. And Abdul Wahid, can I just mention, this 12-day package, the reason why it was extended to 12 days is because it was a Friday on the return. So Abdul Rahman decided that, it would be better to pray Friday.
Extra day.
Yeah, there, yeah.
Jummah, inshallah. So that's the 12-day package. So please take note of the dates and the code. The hotels in Mecca is Hilton Suites, and in Medina, Dalla Tayyiba, and departures, as it says, from London Heathrow and Manchester. The next package is a 14-day package. So departure is a couple of days before, which is Saturday the 31st of May. So you have more time in Mecca prior to the days of Mina, the days of Hajj. A4500J-DT, departures from London Heathrow. Hotels will be Hilton Suites and Oberoi in Medina. And the last package is the A1110J-DT 17-day package, the extended package, 28th of May to the 14th of June. Please make a note of the dates there, departing on the 28th of May and the return for all the packages is the same. And the hotels, Makkah Hilton Convention, and then Dalla Taiba also. So those are our packages and departures from London Heathrow. So all departures are from London Heathrow, and we have for the 12-day package, a shorter package, departures from Manchester. So I'll just leave that on there if somebody wants to take a picture or somebody wants to take a note. And then obviously all this information is going to be on the website. So now features of our packages, I'll just run through some of the features. Is all our packages are non-shifting. Now, what does that mean? It means that during the days of Hajj, we retain our room in the hotel, meaning that we can leave when we go for Hajj, go to Mina, Muzdalifah, and Arafat, we can leave our luggage and all our belongings in the hotel room. As I mentioned before, in Hilton Suites and Hilton Convention, we keep our belongings there. We don't need to shift our belongings. Now, what's the benefit of that? The benefit of that is when we come back to Mecca on the day of Eid for Tawaf al-Ifada and Sa'i, for Tawaf and Sa'i, we have access to our rooms. We can go there for shower. We can go for Tawaf and Sa'i. We go there to shower, change of clothing, and have dinner also. So that's the benefit of having a non-shifting package. So all our packages are non-shifting. All packages are Makkah first. Previously, we used to have the shorter package was Medina first, but this year we decided to have keep all our packages as going to Makkah first. All our packages are in Majar al-Kabsh camp in Mina. Now, Majar al-Kabsh is the camp next to the Jamarat. So the camp next to the Jamarat. Al-Mu'aysim, which is a word you've probably seen or read somewhere else, is the camp in the European camp, a kind of a 45-50 minute walk from the Jamarat. People will say to you, there are pros and cons for both. I mean, both camps, there are pros and cons in terms of distance from the Jamarat, going to the different sites, using the transport, whether you're walking, going by coach, using the monorail. So there are pros and cons for both the Mu'aysim camp and the Majar al-Kabsh camp. All hotel, and it's a full board, so we get breakfast, lunch, and dinner in the camp. All hotels are 5-star and 5 to 10 minute walking distance from the Haram. These are the hotels in Mecca and hotels in Medina, and all the packages will be using direct flights, inshallah, with Saudi Arabia. Okay, so these are just some features of the packages, a summary of the features. Now, this is a map of where the hotels are. So we have Hilton Convention and Hilton Suites, and you can see on the map there, in terms of walking to the Haram, 5 minute, and Hilton Suites they're both on, or Hilton Suites is on Jabal Umar, which is literally 2 to 3 minute walk as soon as you come out of the hotel. Hilton Convention is very close also, but just slightly slightly further up. So that's just a map to help you visualize where the hotels are. That's in Mecca and Medina. Likewise, also we have Dalla Taiba, which is 4 minute walk. So if you're north of the masjid, just if you look straight up, and then the Oberoi, literally 2 minutes. It's one of the, to be honest, Oberoi is I would consider the best hotel in Medina, but people have their preferences. But Oberoi is, mashallah, a very good hotel. And these are half board, so you have lunch, breakfast, and dinner in the hotels. So the days of Hajj are full board, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and hotels Mecca and Medina are half board. During the days of Hajj, so we have a 5 to 10 minute walk to Jamarat. This is the benefit, one of the benefits of the Majar al-Kabsh camp. So it's a 5 to 10 minute walk to Jamarat as opposed to a 45 minute walk. Air-conditioned tents where each pilgrim will be provided with a sofa bed, sheets, blanket, and pillow. Transfers from Mecca to Mina will be in coaches. during between the sites of Hajj, Mina, Arafat, Muzdalifah, we'll be using the monorail. Just bear in mind that we will have to walk to and from the monorail. So it's not a case of it's literally on your doorstep. No, it could vary. Sometimes there's a 20 to 30-minute walk to the station. There's a wait of, could be 20, 30 minutes again on the platform, and then use the monorail, which the journey could be again 10 to 15 minutes. And then it's another walk from the station to the campsite in the respective site, whether it's in Arafat or Muzdalifah. So there is some walking involved also. It's not just because it's a monorail doesn't mean that it's going to take us from door to door. So there will be some walking and some waiting involved. As I mentioned, during the days of Hajj, we'll have breakfast, lunch, and dinner provided. Tea, coffee, cold drinks, ice cream, fruit is available at all times. Generally, camps are less crowded, and we have the Majarul camp this year is going to be managed by Al Bayt, not a third party, which it was last year. So it's going to be managed by Al Bayt themselves. So that's again some features of the camps, and this is just a visualization of the camps. Standard camps Mu'aysim, which is a European camp, 45-minute, 50-minute walk, and it is a very nice walk to be honest with you. But Majar al-Kabsh is the camp next to the Jamarat. Okay. Okay, so then this is just again, I'm repeating the same points that I mentioned before. We arrive into Jeddah airport. Umrah is completed. I mean, this is again something that we'll go through, which type of Hajj, because there's the Tamattu', Ifrad, and Qiran, different types of Hajj. We'll go through with the shuyukh when we have our religious seminars, what type of Hajj to do and what are the differences and what is best suited for whichever package you are on. So we'll go through that inshallah at a later date. And then we go to Medina after Hajj completed, allowing us to rest and reflect and plan for your time after Hajj. Normally what happens also after Hajj, people fall ill. So going to Medina before we go back home, it gives us time to kind of recuperate and to rest and to take our medication and, rest before we go back home. So that's one of the benefits of going to Medina after Hajj. And as I mentioned, a non-shifting package means that the hotel in Makkah is booked for the entire duration. So we can leave, we'll have access to our rooms and we can leave our luggage there, and we can access the room on the day of Eid. And the packages are tailor-made to suit your schedule. As I said, we try and cater for the different types of people that in terms of how much time they can allow, 12 days, 15 days, and 18 days, inshallah. Now, that was the cost now coming up. So the next slide is going to be the costs. Now, please bear in mind that this is these are tentative costs. We think we've based them on the information that we've been given. We've used an exchange rate of 4.6, and we've inshallah, we think we've covered everything, but these are tentative. Please don't come back and say, "Oh, Abdul Wahid, you said this is what you showed us, and now it's £150 more," or it's these are tentative prices, but it's just going to give you an idea of what you need to top up your e-wallet with. So please, I'll go through each package inshallah. So as I mentioned, these are approximate package prices. These include flights, and based on exchange rate of 4.6, final prices will only be once they are published by Nusuk. So going for the 17-day package, we have double, triple, and quad. These are the prices in Saudi Riyals and also in sterling, in GBP. So double for the 17-day, I'll just go through the GBP prices. So 14,750, a triple 13,500, quad 12,500. The 14-day 16,500 for the double, triple is 14,750, and a quad is 13,750. And for the shorter package, the 12-day package, A double is 15,250, triple 13,750, and a quad is 12,750. Now, there are many factors. You might see some of the packages and you're thinking, why is this more expensive than this, or this is cheaper than this? Now, there are many factors that go into building a price, including how long you're staying for, which hotel you are staying at, because they all have different price factors. So that's something to consider. So as I said, you can make a note of these prices, top up your e-wallet so you're ready when the packages go live. But please, when the packages are published, and as Sohail said, in the next day or two, everything will be uploaded into the system with the final prices. But please make a note of the code for your respective package that you want to go on. And then depending on, use the filters accordingly, a double package, a triple, or a quad. And then you can make your selection, inshallah. So these are the prices. You can take a picture of the screen if you like. But as I said, this will be shared, inshallah, on the portal. Now, what do you need to do at this stage? Ensure your profile is verified, your e-wallet is topped up, as we went through. Think about what package suits your needs, depending on cost, duration, things like that. And look out for the package codes that I've mentioned for each respective package. Please make a note of the package code, and that's what you need to select. And of course, ultimately, make dua that you have the invitation from Allah. Details on the packages can be found on the website, dometours.com. And obviously when packages go live, inshallah. So that's everything. I think I've covered most things, if not everything. I'm sure you have many questions. Now, we'll run through some questions. As I mentioned at the beginning, we're going to give priority to questions related to the packages. And then, inshallah, if we have time, we'll run through any admin related queries that Sohail went through as well. So I don't know if somebody can, the team have been answering the questions on chat anyway, but if there's anything new, then please fire away. If somebody can ask the question, Hassan, Ibrar, anybody can go through the questions, and then we can deal with them, inshallah. I'll leave the prices up so people can see. And if somebody wants to, do we have the Ibrar? Do we have can they raise their hands now, or can they? If somebody wants to speak, we can unmute. Just unmute yourself, and you can come on, inshallah. Is there anybody that wants to raise their hand? I can't see the hand, so if you can administer it from there, please.
Okay, so yeah, I had an internet drop, so I just came back.
Have Kashif Amin.
Kashif, I mean, you can unmute yourself. Okay.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum. Just very quickly,
Salam.
once you've configured the package, put it in the basket, then on the purchase day, if for whatever reason it's not available, then you have to reconfigure all over again in order to select another package. Am I correct? There's no other way around that.
Sohail?
Yes, of course, Brother Kashif. I think I'm sure I've spoken to you, have I not? Yes.
Yeah, but I just wanted to make sure, you know, the preferred packages, you have to
Okay.
set the preferred ones. You can
Yeah.
only then really go for the
I understand. I understand what you're saying. So you know the new section on Nusuk, obviously to you it's everything's new, but to us it's a new section, which didn't have in the previous years. So those are all comparative packages, but it's not actually a package you could save. In terms of saving preferences, there's only one. So of those 4 packages that you select for comparison, there's only one that you'll be able to save the configuration for and put it into your basket. Now, if you find yourself in the instance where that package is not available or you couldn't get it, Then to select another package, you would go back inside, put the code in. This is a nice unique feature. Put the code in for that package, and then reconfigure it and try and attempt to go to the basket to check out. So that leads us nicely on to the next point, that it's good to have a backup selection of packages as well. So that if, for instance, you fall onto a package which is not available, or for whatever reason you're not able to buy or purchase, then inshallah there will be something else you could fall back on as well.
So what you're saying is save the codes and then get ready to copy them over to reconfigure as fast as possible.
Absolutely.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you, Kashif. Jazakallah khair. Just got a question, Sohail, just following on from that. When you say reconfigure it, does that mean selecting your options, but Qurbani, wheelchair, that kind of thing as well?
So let's go back to what we said before. Familiarize yourself with the portal. You know exactly what you're doing and how quickly you could run through. You know, last year what we did when the packages went live, we had quite a little bit of a window to play around with it. So we were actually selecting the packages and timing ourselves how long it takes us to configure. And that includes both the custom flights as they were then, which are now the global and the global flights. So the public packages.
Yeah.
And the previous custom flights as well. We were actually timing ourselves how long it takes us to select, configure the room, additional services, flight schedules, times and dates, and go to checkout. If you could do that now, alhamdulillah, that will help.
Okay, next. Who's next, Hassan?
Yeah, Hassan, do you want to run through? And you have to click on allow to talk.
Yeah, so it's going to be Arif.
Oh, you're skipping the list you see. Is it the next one is R?
I've got Arif here. Sorry, okay, do R.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Wa alaikum salam.
Jazakallah khair for a wonderful presentation, firstly. Just a quick question regarding the difference between your packages, the 12, 14, and the 17 days. What are the differences on those preceding days of Hajj? I'm just conscious of the elderly people. So for a 17-day package, is there a program for additional walking as part of additional ibadah before the days of Hajj kick in? And that will help us inform the decision of what duration of package we go for. Because I'm just mindful that if we are going to burn ourselves out from the preceding days of Hajj, we may not have enough energy left, especially the elderly, for the days of Hajj. So a shorter package is more attractive. So my question is, what is the difference between those preceding days of the 12, 14, and 17-day package, please?
Yeah, that's you pretty much answered the question. That's exactly it. It's spending more time in Mecca. So spending more time in the Haram, going to prayers in the Haram. There'll be religious seminars as well with the shuyukh that will be traveling with those earlier packages. So it's just basically, spending more time in the Haram, praying there. Some people like to do an additional Umrah as well during those days. We don't encourage it, but we don't discourage it. We just say, look, save your energy for Hajj, which is the most important thing. But some people, mashallah, especially the younger folk, they have a lot of energy, so they want to do an extra Umrah in those days. So that's pretty much it. Spending more time in the Haram. If you've got elderly companions with you, people traveling with you, then maybe the 14-day package might be more suitable. 10-day might be a bit kind of tight, but so 14-day might be better for you.
Jazakallah khair.
Okay.
Zoom user?
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. So my question is, I think I've already put it in the Q&A questions. So on the 10th of Dhul-Hijj, when we go to Haram for the Tawaf, etc., could we stop a night at the hotel and travel to Jamarat the next morning from Haram, or could we return back to Haram and do the same for the 12th?
What was the second part of your question? Stay the night of the 10th in the hotel.
So could we stop the night at the hotel and travel to Jamarat the next morning from Haram, or could we return back to Haram and do the same for the 12th?
Come back. You mean after Hajj? Not stay in the. I didn't understand the second part of your question. I understand the first part.
You
So it's
understand the
staying the
first?
night of the 10th. So you come back to Makkah for Tawaf and Sa'i.
That's right. Yeah.
And you want to,
And-
you don't want to go back to Mina. You want to stay at the hotel
yeah.
and then go back to Mina the following day on the 11th. Is that what you're saying?
So is that when we'd go? Is that when we?
Okay, I think I'll just jump in here. I think sister's
Yeah, go
asking more on the basis of practicality. That is she going to be strong enough to travel back to Mina after Tawaf Ifadah? Majority of the pilgrims, sister, do head back by taxi or by walking to spend the
Okay.
night in Mina. Because remember, the sunnah is to spend the nights in Mina. However, there are instances where pilgrims can't get back for traffic. Those days are very busy, mind you, very, very extremely busy. And you will be very, very tired. I'm not going to play that down. However, if you could pluck up the strength to go back to Mina, then inshallah, please do that. However, if you find I didn't make it, and I'm talking from previous experiences from other pilgrims, then yeah, there's no harm in staying where you are, but don't do that leisurely. Try and make
Okay.
an effort to get back.
Okay, no worries. Jazakallah.
Inshallah.
Just to add to that, don't make that the basis. Don't make that the kind of the default. The default should be that you'll stay with the group, and we'll all, as Suhail said, most of the group go back on the 10th after the Tawaf and Sa'i, and we stay together. So yeah.
The sister's looking at the Hilton Suites and thinking, nice, a night in Hilton Suites, but come on, you need to head back, head back.
Okay, next one.
Next, Zoom user.
I think, okay, no.
Zoom user.
No, I've just spoken, so I think.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah.
Next is Samin.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Yeah, brother, I'm looking for a 12-day package, and I just looking at the prices and stuff. You know, when it says double, triple, and quadruple. So if like for example, double sold out, and already there's a big price difference between double and triple. So if we go for triple, how do we get allocated with the people who will be sharing the rooms? Will they all be from the same city, or do we know them beforehand, or how does it work? And what would you advise, like a double better than triple or a quadruple? How much time do we actually spend in the hotel, considering it's such a short package, 10-day package?
Are you thinking of the shorter package, the express?
Yes, 10-day package, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned at the beginning, the two main concerns, there are many factors, of course, but time and money are the two, one of the major concerns that people always look to when they want to select a package. And your question was related to double and triple. Yes, see, if you have, are you traveling on your own, sister?
No, with my husband.
Yeah, so you can, then if you've selected a double, then you'll be together in a double.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying if it gets sold out and we have to select then triple one, so how do we know the rooms we'll be sharing with? Like how do we allocate the rooms?
So there are, see, the allocation is done by the team, and they look at various factors as to your background, which language you speak, which city you're from, age. So there are many factors that they consider just to ensure there's compatibility. That's why another thing we say, and they will be from the same group, of course. They will be from the same package that you'll be on. And what we say, this is why we encourage also as well that you attend we'll have inshallah in the month of May, a seminar, face-to-face seminar where all the Hujjaj inshallah will come. That's why it's we say to you, come meet your fellow Hujjaj that you'll be traveling with. If there are people that you would like to share with, and I don't know if the system nowadays, Sohail, allows that, but before we could say, okay, I want to share with this person, my friend, yeah, we can make that happen, inshallah.
Absolutely. Sheikh Abdul, just to put more meat on what you just said, sister, a unique feature of Duyuf Al Bayt is the fact that they take it upon themselves to, once you've got your roomings, once you've got your package, and when you've got multiple room, for example, triple and quads, again, a unique feature of Duyuf Al Bayt is they'll actually send out a questionnaire to profile you without discrimination, profile you, what your hobbies are, where you're from, your language you speak, what you're into, you know, as similar as you can to an you know, identifiable pilgrim. And if somebody matches that profile, then they will group you. So these are facets to Dufil Bayt that will be employed once the package has been selected and close to, as what Abdul Wahid said, compatibility as we can, inshallah. And as we say in all the seminars, that the friends that you will make during Hajj will be friends for life. And I could pretty much guarantee of that, inshallah.
So, brother, what would you advise? Like having triple and sharing rooms, or just have it with your husband? Like, what would you advise?
That's entirely down to preference. I'll be honest with you, and I'll be candid about this. There are husband and wives who they join at the hip, and you can't separate them, unfortunately. So they will have no choice but to go for a double package. However, if you're budgeting, just like Abdul Wahid has said, and you'd rather spread the cost, then maybe, of course, you could go for the triple and you go for the quad as well. It'll mean that yourself, you'll be sharing with two of the ladies or three of the ladies, and your husband, inshallah, will be sharing with two of the men or three of the men, and you'll make lovely friends. And doesn't mean that you're completely segregated and there's no privacy between yourselves. You'll be able to spend whole day together, except that when it comes to the few hours that you sleep during Hajj and during the days of Hajj, you'll be able to you'll be separated in that instance. So yeah, there is so many options for you there as well. And there's so much overlap between the packages and how we profile that there will be a gap that's filled for everybody, inshallah.
So, that, like, even if we have triple packages, we'll be seeing the husband. Like, where will we see? Just for dinners and lunches, or will there
When
be
you go
other
for a
times?
walk, when you go for a walk, when you go for tawaf, when you go for umrah. So the only time you won't be together is at night when you are going to be in your own domiciles.
Right. Okay,
You'll still see your husband. It's not like you won't see him for 12 days, inshallah. You'll still, and see, just to add to what Brother Sohail mentioned, one of the benefits we've found over the years of sharing rooms is that you make friends, and these friends during the full days of Hajj and even in Medina, you become companions. And don't forget that when we go to Mina, Arafat, and Muzdalifah, we are not in double, triple, quad rooms. It's literally a camp of 150, 200 people. So there you're sharing. And then the friends that you've made in the triple room and in the quad room in Mecca, you've already got, some friends there. Whereas if you're in a double and your husband and wife separated, you don't have that, let's say, familiarity and friendship with people. You will have, but not as close because you're not sharing the rooms. So what we found is that then, families help each other, and during the days of Hajj as well, because you've already built that friendship up. So there are benefits to sharing as well, inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, jazakallah khair.
Brother Arif, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. Yeah, just a quick one. The prices that you gave there, brother, are they including the projected cost of the flights?
Yes, if you look at the very top, it says approximate package price including flights.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, brilliant. Sorry, I missed that.
But it's okay, that's all right. As I mentioned, these are tentative, but inshallah, we think it's going to be as close as possible to the final once they're published.
Yeah, no, I understand, because I know that there's been a lot of stuff on the chats today about flights and custom and public and all that sort of stuff.
We made sure that we wanted to include the flights so people have an idea, the full picture.
The full picture. Perfect. Thank you guys.
Okay.
Jazakallah.
We have Zoom user, please.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. Just a quick one. What are your school of thoughts?
Right.
And hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask, what are your school of thoughts? And on top of that, with regards to the Qurbani, will you guys be able to help us to get our Qurbani done, or do we have to sort of arrange it ourselves?
So on the school of thought, are you talking from a religious perspective?
Yeah, like a Hanafi or...
Yeah, so the scholars that are coming with us are Hanafi, they're Maliki, and they can cater for all of the whatever background or opinion you want. So we have mashallah very learned scholars who are well versed in kind of the Hanafi fiqh, the Maliki fiqh, and whatever opinion that you would like to follow. So we have, we can cater for your needs basically from a religion.
Okay.
Abdul Wahid, can I add to yourself as well, just to help the brother along as well? If it's of any assistance to you, Alhamdulillah, I'm a Hanafi, and most of my family, my brother Imran Hakim, most of my family have traveled with Dome, pre-COVID and post-COVID as well, Alhamdulillah. And don't let the notion of scholarly guidance or madahib have a hindrance or impact your ibadah in whichever way you want. There is absolutely no restriction to anybody to perform the ibadah in whichever way, shape, or form they wish. I can pretty much vouch and guarantee you for that. Whether you are of the Deobandi sect, whether you're of the Ahl Hadith sect, or whether you're of the Barelvi sect, it does not impact anything. And should you require specific assistance from a scholar of your following, then they will be accessible across the whole of the Al Bayt estate and family, inshallah. So that, for me, that is usually a one that's last on in terms of importance, is very important, but in terms of concern, it's usually right at the back of it, inshallah.
And with regards to the Qurbani, what's the arrangements or anything like that?
So Nusuk, of course, has a Qurbani facility in place. Or if you'll see a lot of conversations coming to the live date where should I select Qurbani or should I not? Should you select Qurbani, then alhamdulillah, that's fine. Should you not select Qurbani and you'd like to arrange it by from the partners, inshallah, that's a facility that's available as well. So that should not be a concern for you either, inshallah.
So, like you mentioned about Nusuk, would that be when we are checking out our package in the final stages?
Yeah, additional services will have Adahi in there as well. Adahi is your Nahar, your Qurbani for Hajj, yes. And remember, this is Qurbani for Hajj, not the one that we do in India, Pakistan, Bangladesh.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
No. Does that answer your question, brother? Yeah?
Okay, thank you, brother.
Islam.
Brother Maqsood Muhammad, please. Brother Maqsood, if you can just unmute your microphone. Brother Maqsood, can you hear us? Okay, let's move on to Sabah. Sabah's iPhone.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, I just wanted to understand package configuration. I was playing on Nusuk. Now, looking at prices, there's a bit of difference in prices between double and quad. So is there a possibility that we can configure the package with the same provider with two different types of rooms as our preference? So in case if one gets sold out, then we use the other one, or is that not possible?
I'll let you go on as well.
Inshallah, sister. So yeah, there is only, for example, we have pilgrims often asking if this is the direction you're going down, can we have two different room configurations under one profile? It doesn't. If you select a quad, all the way through, it'll be a quad. If you select a triple, and vice versa, if you go for a double, then the selection across the hotels will be in that orientation. In the same way, we often have pilgrims asking that I have 6 family members in my profile, and 4 of them want to go quad, 2 of them want to go double. Unfortunately, that is not an option at all. You have to have the family groups in terms of the numbers they can fill in, for example, double, triple, and quad. So you can't have multiple room orientations under one profile. However,
Okay, no, sorry, that was not, I was trying to ask because, we can select 5 preferences in Nusuk portal for your preferred packages.
Yes.
So instead of having different provider, let's say I want to go with Dome, which I want to, but can I do like one configuration and check out as, let's say, double as my priority, and then use the second option with the same provider, but with quad room, let's say, as my second preference? So in case if doubles gets sold out, then my next attempt is to go with Dome with quad room.
Sure, you won't be able to save that
Oh,
configuration. No, it's only one configuration. However, if you want to go for a quad as your second option, just select that package and configure it as quad and then go through to the checkout. Again, just to remind you, if you're familiar with all those orientations, how to quickly do them, then the checkout should be quite, our configuration will be quite seamless, and you'll be able to get it done very, very quickly.
okay. And from your experience, which one do you think gets sold out quickly? Double, quad, or triples?
Doubles are a very, very popular setup. However, Sheikh Abdurrahman has told us there is a lot more availability, but please do not put all your eggs into one basket. Have backup plans in place, because when it comes to the difference of sharing with 3 other people and not going for Hajj, you'll probably share with 4 other people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I
Inshallah.
have one more clarification regarding a question that the other lady was asking about coming back to Haram after doing Hajj and staying in Makkah. But
Yeah.
is it not right that your Hajj is not valid if you don't come back to Mina before Isha prayer?
This is not the case. This is a sunnah. So it's advised and it's liked, but should, for whatever reason, you not make it back, like I said before, if you're not well, you can't get access, it's got very, very late, and all these are all eventualities. All these things do happen. That's why I'm quoting them, that you can't make it back. Then of course you can just stay where you are and then head back as soon as possible, because you're gonna have to head back that way
Yeah,
anyway to do the Rami for the second day
thanks.
as well. Yes,
Yeah, so Hajj will still be valid because
of course.
somebody, I
Of
was
course.
told you're not supposed to do that. You have to come back to Mina
The,
before
the
Isha prayer.
scholars will go through all the fiqh of Hajj, inshallah, and that's definitely not one of them. I could assure you of that.
Okay,
Yeah.
all
And
right.
Sabah, just to
Mhm.
quickly clarify one point, when you said Isha is before Fajr of the next day, not before Isha. That's just
Oh,
something.
okay,
Yeah.
right.
But
Okay,
as we'll go through all of the religious permutations later on, inshallah.
okay. Jazakallah. Thank you.
If we can have Sister Sabina, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Now, I don't know whether you can tell me what is the additional price after adding the complete package, roughly? Because on the package, suppose if it said like 35,000 something, is that that price will add to your flat, will add to your room? Hello?
So the prices that you see on the screen now, they
Yeah.
include flights.
Okay.
So the
But
only
then,
addition you might have, the additional services like the Qurbani, for example,
yeah.
which I don't know is 700-800 reals. I don't know, that's the normal cost
Yeah,
from
I
last year.
understand that.
Yeah.
But like if there's the price on the screen, if it said suppose 44,000, right? Depend what stage is it, whether it's standard or premium or luxury, whatever the standard. But that price is included with the flight.
I think the sister is trying to, she's referring to the Nusuk portal, because on the Nusuk, on the package screen, the packages are usually mentioned as excluding flights. So for
Yeah,
those, sister, you have to click on the package and scroll down, and you have to configure. And then
yeah,
when you go to configure, then you'll be able to choose the room type, and
yeah.
then you'll be able to select the flight, and it will show you the total price on the right side.
Okay.
Okay, so this will be different for every package because you'll have to configure that yourself.
Okay.
But these packages that you see on screen that we are going to be covering, these are the
Okay.
prices including flights, but excluding Qurbani.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Okay. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Wa
Okay.
alaikum salam.
Walaikum salam.
Can I have Muhammad Mia, please?
What?
We'll have another 10 minutes, inshallah, then we'll close.
I have two questions. One is, have you got a shorter days? Because I don't want to go to Medina. I've been so many times. I've got 4 or 5 Hajj, mashallah, already. So I don't have much time to spend 12 days. And could you take also my friend from New York as well. 2 questions.
Ibrar?
Yes.
So I'm guessing your friend from New York is an American passport
Yeah,
holder, right?
he has American passport. Yes.
Yes. So the first question about returning earlier, there is a possibility, but that will be at your own expense to get your own flight on the way back.
Yeah. Now, what about
yes,
the accommodation?
the earliest, sorry?
What about the accommodation then?
The package is booked. You won't get any refund on the Medina accommodation or the flight, unused flight, because that's something that you have to book on the Nusuk, and there's no refund on that. But
Mhm.
you'll be able to, the day when the package, the group goes to Medina, you can perhaps book a flight to come back from Jeddah back to UK.
Yeah.
And regarding the other question about your friend, we would need to check which package you are interested in and see if there's a similar package or similar dates from New York or USA, and then he can book the same package. But it's going to be difficult to connect you to sharing unless you choose a quad sharing and you happen to be
We'll be sharing double room, double, because that's the whole idea that we should go have a room for two us.
Brother Sahel, I think if you want to comment on this, I think that's going to be pretty tough, isn't it? Because
it will be, because there are so many different variables that we've got to consider, Uncle Muhammad, as well, simply because this year the notion of global packages didn't really exist like they did last year. We had like for likes. Whilst there are packages which correspond to, say, for example, USA or Canada, not all of them. So we don't want to make any promises at this stage and assure you that there will be a possibility, but we can definitely look at it. And if there is an option to do this, inshallah, we would definitely buddy you up package to package. But in terms of, again, based on dates and based on how the itineraries will be played out, we cannot make those guarantees at this stage, inshallah. I hope that answers your question somewhat.
Thank you very much. That's very good.
Uncle Muhammad, also, if you leave your details with Ibrar Bhai, we don't want to leave that open-ended, inshallah. We will pursue it and look into it and make sure that what we've said does stand. And if there is any other option to consider otherwise to what you are saying, then inshallah we'll certainly try that as well.
So the thing is this, that should I email you or what? Or how
I'm just gonna send
I'm your email anyhow.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'll just send you our WhatsApp message so you can send us any information.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much.
Just a few more to get through, the Wahid. Phone user. Okay, they're muted. So we'll go to Fatiha Ibrahim.
Assalamu alaikum. Am I correct in saying that the packages will be released on the 9th, inshallah khair, according to Nusuk, but that's also the same time that that's also the same date that we can, in actual fact, buy the packages. So you know how on Nusuk now we can see other packages and get like a head start. With Al-Bayt, we won't be able to see, so it is very much going to be rushed.
No, I think, sister, you've got it slightly confused.
Have I?
The packages have gone live already. Then
but the codes I can but the codes I can't see on Nusuk, right?
Yeah, the Al-Bayt packages are in the process of being uploaded.
Right.
So in the next 24 to 48 hours, you'll see a lot more of them. So
Okay.
we're hoping by the middle of this week or latter end of this week, all the Al-Bayt packages should be visible before the actual date for them, the anticipated date of
The
them
release
going
date.
live. Yes.
Oh, okay, perfect. Because I was kind of worrying, like, how exactly do we know how much to put in the wallet, and will we all be putting money, adding, or will we have too much money in the account?
So
Obviously,
for that reason, what you see on screen at the moment are the tentative prices to at least get you into the ballpark. And then after that, it'll be just a case of a small adjustment of your wallet, inshallah, and you will be ready. So we've preempted all of this and we've prepared you in a way that you will be as ready as you possibly can be, inshallah. And then it's tawakkul after that, inshallah.
inshallah. No, that makes sense because you can have preferences and backup options, I guess. Brother, my next question was, So on Nusuk, inshallah khair, I'm trying to get my parents to go. So it's 2 people. If I want them in a double room, when you're configuring, I need to have 2 people, right? I can't. It's not just one. When you're selecting, it's per person, right?
Yes, so it's 1 bed per person per room, for example. So if you've got triple category, you will have 3 people in that room. Similarly, if you've got 4, it'll be 4 in that room. Some people might say there's 4 of us, but we'd like 2 double rooms. Then that'll be 4 people in a double room, and it'll be split
Okay, it's
appropriately.
in per. Okay, so just because I have 1 wallet for 2 people, I still have to put the amount of people in the wallet in the
Okay,
account.
so if you want, if you're asking if your parent could join you, and if you want to be together, then there's more chance of you being in the same package together if they're on your profile.
No,
So
no, brother. It's just 2 of them, inshallah khair.
that's
But
fine.
my question is, you know, when you have the tabs, the columns, so
Yeah,
for Medina there'll be 2 people, and Mecca
yeah,
there'll be 2 people, and obviously in the camps, obviously they're separated. Am I
sure.
correct in saying that?
Yep, 2 beds in a double
Okay,
room.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem. So,
We can have brother M name Chaudhry, I think.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Salam.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Yes, welcome salam. Go ahead.
Brother, actually, I want to go in a quad, but I have 2 kids and my wife. Actually, we want. Is it possible we will be in 4 together in room in Makkah and Medina? That's
Yes, of
we
course.
want confirmation
How old are your
my kids.
children?
Children, one is 12 and one oh sorry, one is 12 and one is 14.
Yeah. So, Hel, do you want to deal with this one? I think it's okay.
yeah, of course, inshallah. Yeah, so if you've got four members in your family, then certainly you could have 4 sharing. Unfortunately,
Because last time a couple of friends told me that was a problem. That's why I want to discuss in advance
the
that we will be together.
problem with what exactly? What was the
They
problem?
were not giving the family room together.
If you are with Al Bayt, then 99% of your request of a specific room category and arrangement will be fulfilled,
Inshallah,
inshallah.
inshallah. That's my question, brother. Thank you very much. And
Everything,
You're welcome.
one more question, if you don't mind, please.
go
One
on
is
then.
that in our Mina camp, how many people will be in one camp?
It could
Roughly.
now the Mina camps. So you're in Major Al Kabs. Now you've got to
Yes.
bear in mind Major Al Kabs is a very restricted capacity compared to the other camps. So you've got 5,000 capacity of Major Al Kabs. So it's arranged in a certain way. But compared to, if you were to make a comparison, it's very spacious, it's very open, and there's plenty of breathing space. And really, as far as Hajj is concerned, that's more than adequate in my opinion, inshallah.
Okay, brother. Jazakumullah.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
very much, sir.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thank you.
So we have welcome salam. We have 6 minutes. So let's try and finish whatever we have in the next 6 minutes, inshallah.
If we can do Muhammad Jahidi, please.
Anji Sami bhai.
Muhammad Jahidi, if you can please unmute your mic.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, I just had a quick question.
Yeah.
Sorry, let me go to somewhere quiet. I've been trying to configure one of the Albeit packages which have just come out. All of a sudden, it seems that the Medina column is missing. Are they doing something to the packages, or the packages are not yet all been ready for viewing?
Go ahead, Suhail.
Yeah, inshallah. Brother, yes, there are so many packages to go on. As far as I understand, there were only 3 packages that were launched today, and those were the public packages. Now remember, we're in the first phase, so the package you'll be looking for is the custom packages, which will be included with your flights as standard. So there is it's work in progress. There's plenty still to go. So I wouldn't be too concerned at the moment. I could assure you that when it comes to it, when all the packages are visible on Nusuk, they will have full compatibility and configurability as well for you. So that you won't be restricted there, inshallah. So I would not be too concerned at this stage, inshallah.
Okay then. Shukran jazilan. Thank you very much.
Okay, next.
We're going to have Hassan Tahir, please.
Yes, so I have two questions. The first one is very quick. So are we okay to use Revolut now or not?
I wouldn't advise it. We don't want to tempt fate here. I think we've established now that all the other forms of payment are the way to go, inshallah. So we don't want to put ourselves in a position where we get stuck for another 7 days with funds. So let's not take that risk, inshallah. Let's stick with alternative payments. So that's unanimous amongst all the partners now, inshallah.
Okay. And then the second question is I am doing this for a group of 6 family members, and I've been configuring the packages, not the Albait ones, because I was doing this before they came out on the platform. And I was actually able to, try a quad and a double, because some hotels, they only offer certain room types. So they might not be twins, they might only be quads, or some hotels might offer triples and quads, but not doubles. So I was actually able to get to check out with a twin and a quad for the 6 people. Because I was able to get to check out, does that mean, I'm able to do that, or I shouldn't, risk anything?
There's a few different aspects to this as well. So when it comes to the Al-Bayt packages, specifically if you're looking at the dome packages, the rooms will be set out in a certain way, will be as per configuration on what Nusuk is. So if we say there's quad, it will be quad. Now, what we did see last year, there were instances where occasionally, based on some hotels and some packages, yeah, there were instances where a family chose a double in Makkah, then managed to choose a quad in Medina. So it did happen, but that does make things very tricky and very, very difficult when it comes down to arranging you to the rooms that we specified. So it's not as if you'll be left out on the cold. You will be accommodated as per the configurations, but our guidance is stick to the rooms that we suggest in each location for you to be able to keep your family dynamic.
Yeah, I'm just saying, even within the same column, right? So within Mecca, in the same hotel, on one of the
Absolutely.
packages, I
Yeah.
could have chosen a twin and a quad for the 6 people.
Yeah, but in a lot of packages, it'll what we call grayed out, so it won't let you choose. But occasionally, you might just think you'll chance it, and you think, oh, hang on a minute, I could choose a quad there and a double there. It does happen, but we advise to stick to what the criteria we suggest, because it makes our life a lot easier for you to be kept with the family as you need to be, and you're not having to move around either.
Yep. Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Inshallah.
I think we'll do the.
Okay, we'll take one more question. How many questions? Hands raised, Hassan?
There's 4 or 5, but some of them are repeat. So I think
we'll just take one random. We'll take it from you. Go ahead.
Sister Alisa, please.
Assalamu alaikum. I just wanted to ask about the double packages. So, for example, within my party, I've got my aunt, myself, and my husband. And so we will be picking, we want double rooms, so we'll be selecting 3 beds it will be 2 double rooms. Me and my husband want to share a double room together if possible, and then my aunt is happy to share with another female. I just wanted to know, like, with regards to even bed types, like, is that something you guys will sort of try and work out? Because within a husband and wife, it would be preferable if it was a double bed. But what I think I just wanted to know is that something that, I know obviously you don't guarantee room requests anyway, but is that something that will sort of be negotiated and factored in when doing the room arrangements, like even the bed types, whether it's a double bed or a twin bed?
Alisa, we've had fun with you, haven't we?
Yeah.
You've become part of the family with you and your aunt, eh?
I know.
Now, we had Alisa's aunt verified after repeated attempts, alhamdulillah, so we've kind of got acquainted. But no, inshallah, if your room, so when you say, for example, if we're putting two people in, or 2 beds in a double room, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be separated on the beds. Remember what we said about the profiling and indication of who's sharing with who. And in that basis, the rooms will be configured in that manner. They'll be made up or set up in that manner as well, inshallah. Yes. Does that answer your question, or
Yeah,
do I need
yeah,
to
that's
elaborate more?
really helpful. Jazakallah
Yeah.
khair.
No, you're welcome.
Okay, Hassan, it's your call whether we take any more or we end it there. So
We've lowered all hands now, so there's no more questions. So
okay, just one point that one of the brothers reminded me to say is that the travel between Mecca and Medina will be by train, just to let everybody know as well, that inshallah on the Haramain train from Mecca to, when we travel to Medina, will be by train. Okay, we leave it there. This webinar is recorded, and we'll share the recording as well for those of you who want to watch it again, and go, especially the Q&A. Alhamdulillah, we covered a lot. Jazakallah khair, Suhail, for your time, your precious time as usual, and to all the panelists and all the guides. I hope we've answered all or most of your questions. Inshallah, still keep in touch through Telegram and email, and let us know your concerns, your questions. As we said before, get verified, top up your e-wallets, familiarize yourself with the portal, and then inshallah when we go live, make dua, say Bismillah, and configure your package, and then inshallah if the invitation is there, you'll be standing on the plain of Arafat come, sometime in June, inshallah. Okay, we leave it there unless there's anything else, Ibrar.
No, that's fine, inshallah. I just want to mention that, our we have a Dom Tours channel and chat on Telegram, and the chat is not active at the moment because the packages are not uploaded onto Nusuk yet. But inshallah, as soon as the packages are loaded onto Nusuk, we will make that active, and people can ask us any question there as well.
Inshallah, and we're going to try to keep this slot of Monday 7 p.m. for our webinars, inshallah, all being well, and all being okay with all the other partners. So inshallah, if there's anything else, we can reconvene, meet again, and then go through your queries, inshallah. Okay, سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.